I think we were supposed to be in Champion Select, and then we got debated, and now we're in Champion Select. Here we go, Gen G. First ban going to be the LeBlanc, as they're going to be starting on the blue side, denying that one. Away from Pawn, makes a lot of sense. Zoe is going to be the ban away from Fly. Where's that Lissandra ban?
Yasuo.
Yeah, Yasuo taken away from Pawn. Okay, not bad.
You know Zoe's name in Korean?
Joey?
Yep, it's Joey.
Yeah, well, that's because that's what Z translates to in the Korean language.
Great.
Yeah.
I love it.
What about Jigs?
Jigs.
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 Yeah, it's so good.
Zigs, yeah.
That's Zigs, yeah.
And Kajigs.
Kajigs, yeah.
Never let that one down.
Well, don't worry. Everyone knows about that
Rise.
one. Thank you very much. Rise is going to be the final ban here from Gen G's side. Looks like a very Pawn-flavored ban setup here
Kalistar.
from Gen G. As Kalista is going to be banned.
Who?
The only real standard one, as Kalistar, sorry, is the one taken off the board. Jace is available. Vladimir is available. So many champions left up. A lot of AD carries left remaining as well. As if the Jace is locked in, you could just see Deft and Tucson lock away a powerful bottom lane, but it looks like Gen G are going to go back to the new flavor, which is the Braum being the priority pick. Rascal can pick up the Jace here, and it is well and truly a flex pick in three different ways for Kingzone if they want to get it.
But instead, they want to take away the Lucian, so not to give it over to Gen G, paired with the Braum, and then they're going to accompany it with the Rek'Sai. So these are two champions that have a very heavy engage focus, very short range, close quarter combat. Probably wouldn't be that bad of a choice. Oh, well, actually, Rise is banned away. Never mind.
Yep, Rise is banned. They can actually go towards a Vladimir here on the side of Gen G if they would like to, but rounding out the bottom lane and getting a jungler would certainly be a let's not show our hand style approach to the draft.
You know who slipped by the wayside in recent times is Cassiopeia has disappeared.
Yeah.
That might
she's
be
not
an
even
Orianna.
that bad. As, Fly is going to not allow his champion pool to get any more destroyed by letting it go to another ban phase, and he's going to lock away his Orianna.
So Orianna
He's 1-0 on it so far, I believe.
Yep. Orianna, a very generic champion. I think that she's really undervalued.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure BBQ picked
Yeah.
this one up quite a few times,
Yeah.
so you must think it's okay at least.
Yeah, I think that she is definitely undervalued. I think that she has a lot of synergy with a lot of the current junglers as well as the top laners right now, and so she's coming in blind here, and she is one of the few mid lane champions that sort of can go blind against the rest of the meta right now. Vladimir now will be locked in for Kingzone. If there was going to be an opportunity to maybe take Yorick, it probably would have been here, and then you ban away the counters. But we're not seeing that. We're also not seeing Jace as Nico bites the dust.
Yeah, exactly. Not having Jace this far into a draft is absolutely insane, but you don't necessarily say that Cuvée is a classic Jace player. He's not going to play the lane that aggressively. He's more the player that likes to pick interesting things into the Jace rather than actually play the Jace himself. Nico is going to be the ban, like you mentioned, and the Rakan banned against Tucson makes a lot of sense. He was playing it before it was cool, back on 9.4, and making it look pretty busted. So that's not going to be seeing the light of day. Kingzone, final ban to come in here, and I think Yorick or Jace really need to be looked at here. Aatrox could also be an answer to the Vladimir if it goes on the top side, but Kennen is going to be the choice, giving away the fact that Rascal does want to be playing the Vladimir most likely.
And now we shall see what Gen G's final ban is going to be. It's going to be Alistar.
Yeah, focusing on the bottom side. Rakan Alistar banned away.
These are the interesting spots where I really feel like Soraka
Ooh, okay.
is so powerful against the teams that want to just blind Braum and Tom all the time, because that's basically what's going on lately. And now Vayne has some synergy there with the J4, and Alright.
No, well, you can understand
We got Ezreal.
You can understand the
Safe.
Aatrox. We saw yesterday Aatrox just crush of Vladimir in the laning phase. That being said, I don't know whether Cuvée is the guy that's really going to be capable of doing it. Looking like he's going to be able to try his hand. So he's going to lock that one in. So we'll see how he goes. Does have Grievous Wounds in the kit.
Well, the Aatrox will be able to do a pretty heavy engage with the Orianna, assuming that the game is even. World Ender in charge right in with the Umbral Dash as well. And I mean, the Jarvan definitely helps set up, and I really love the Ezreal coming in here for Gen G. Provides the long-range poke, able to easily itemize.
Oh, here we go.
All right, that's not Soraka, but that is up. That's with That's with her. That is in the theme of the type of support that does bully these types of support picks.
And also, I love it because it's paired with a Lucian. And who applies Tidecaller's Blessing the best? The man with the double tap. As you get 2 procs of it every time that passive is off cooldown. This lane, it's like the Lucian Braum, except instead of stunning your opponent, you kill them.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
But what if you kill them when you stun them?
Oh, well then, I guess it's the same. But I wanted to make it a little bit
But one
different.
makes them frozen, and one drowns them. It's a little bit different, right? You know what happens when you freeze water? It becomes ice.
It does. It changes state. It goes from a liquid to a solid.
You know what happens when you boil it?
It goes into steam.
You're so smart.
I know, aren't I?
You're so smart.
We did a bit of homework before this show. I learned about different states of matter. It was really exciting. I liked this chemistry class that I had with LS. And that way I can feel qualified to commentate a game of Nami because we knew it was just going to come out here. Tucson going to pick that one up for himself. Could actually pose a bit of a problem here for Kingzone because they are definitely looking to scale into this game.
Yeah.
The Rek'Sai and the Lucian are trying to be that bridge in towards the mid to late game. But the thing is, getting priority in the mid lane may not be as difficult for this Azir as it has been for Azirs in the past, because he's up against an Orianna, not necessarily a champion that's going to be moving super quickly towards challenging.
And the only thing that they really have to worry about is the Ezreal in the later stages of the game, as he's going to try to be the saving grace come the 3-4 item mark. Obviously, Orianna always scary.
Yeah.
If she's able to get a wombo. And it's relatively easy for Gen.G to control the left side river.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of comfort here on the side of Gen.G and on the side of Kingzone. I actually really like what they've done here with both of these drafts. Let's get to game number 1. Nami fighting indeed. If you guys missed hearing that yelled out from the crowd, that is precisely what that final call was. Gen.G going to be able to draw first blood here by grabbing that first minion. Cuvée able to lock that one down. Very nicely done. Gen.G off to a slight advantage here at the beginning of the game.
Well, so far, nothing super exciting going to be happening. I think that if any team would have been looking for it, it probably would have been the one with Braum.
Yep. Also the Nami T-skin.
Yeah.
Big fan. Not getting enough emote spam out of the Nami, though. That is certainly one of her best things.
Yeah, this is definitely a little... I hate that Vladimir skin.
The Vandal Vlad?
Why is
everyone going towards Vandal Vlad these days?
I just have no idea. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of The Undertaker when he did his, like, his biker theme.
Yeah.
You ever watch WWE?
A little bit.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
That was the worst phase in the history of phases.
Oh, phase rush. Speaking of phases.
There you go. That's why I weave that in there.
That was very nicely done.
You like that?
We've started off this broadcast in pretty good stead when it comes to the caster synergy.
Yeah, I'm really putting my heart into it.
I think it has to do with my chemistry lesson that I had beforehand.
I think so.
I think if I didn't know about steam and ice and water, then I wouldn't have been able to be there for you.
I just probably wouldn't have been able to cast this match.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I would have been so disappointed. But I will have you know that coming into game number 1 here, I am impressed.
Yes! It's really hard to do.
So
very excited.
You know what else I'm impressed with?
What are you impressed with?
I'm impressed with this Rek'Sai's pathing. Taking an extremely powerful route, knowing that the Azir is able to have priority, don't need any help up in top lane. Gonna come in here, check the Raptor camp, should probably just create a Bambi.
Yeah, well, this is also really, really nice from Kingzone. They know that they've got the sustain advantage here in this lane, so they're the ones that can use their health bars pretty recklessly, knowing that Rek'Sai is also down here on the bottom side. Level 2 is actually gained here from Gen.G, but they can't enter this lane.
Yeah.
And Deft is one of our Lucian players that has still been able to make Lucian look ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think that Lucian has been falling down in priority a little bit in the hands of other players, but Deft does play out this early game very, very aggressively. And now with Tucson behind him, and now also with the Nami in Tucson's hands as well, another more aggressive pick, especially up against the Braum. We are seeing that our Kingzone certainly can take some control, as 8 to 23 CS is pretty good, but there are a whole bunch of minions here for Ruler to pick up underneath this turret.
Whoa.
That was pretty smooth.
That was
out of the
really
turret
clean
aggro.
min-maxing.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful wiggle. right there as Tushin and Deft exerting a enormous amount of pressure down here.
Taking the old 3.5-minute turret plate would be certainly an aggressive move as Guardian does come in. Ruler in trouble. The last double tap not going to come in and the bubble doesn't land. Hero heal has to be invested as the flash out from Deft means that Peanut's not going to find any joy. However, that is summon a spell down and probably a lot of respite gained here for Gen G bottom side.
And Deft is just exerting so much pressure. Both AD carries do have teleport available.
But both supports do have heal down now. And that is actually going to go into the hands of Kingzone because they're the ones with the sustain advantage. If they can get their eyes on where the Jarvan is, that is going to be the good news story here for Kingzone DragonX as they continue trying to put the pressure on bottom side of the map. Elsewhere, we've got slight advantage for Rascal on the top side somehow, and also a slight advantage for Pawn in the mid lane in this control mage matchup. Oh, how did you weave that, Ruler? That was real cheap.
Definitely quite good. Still no teleport used by Deft yet.
Oh, misses the cannon as well. That's real sad.
Better love story than Twilight.
Still, yeah. You know. Oh, that's the double bounce. Got to keep our eyes on that one. Ebb and Flow is a fantastic ability because if you get the double bounce, that is the good news. Manages to land a bubble there, but it's not about landing bubbles when you're playing Nami. It's about how many bounces your Ebb and Flow gets. Very
clean CSing from Deft here. He's up 8 CS, maybe looking for a teleport right now. Because gonna come in here, realize that nothing is up as Peanut is recalling.
Deft are gonna deny a back here from Ruler before he teleports back in. It's interesting.
Yep. Really, really good wards right now on the side of Kingzone. The Azir continuing to try to exert pressure. Interesting itemization choices here in mid lane. Double Doran's Ring versus double Darksteel.
Yeah, it feels like Pawn with the new school idea as Fly's gone back a few patches with his particular choice. Still building towards his lost chapter. Pretty standard stuff. We know that Pawn loves to play Azir no matter what meta it is. He's going to be more than happy here in this lane. On the Chicken Man. And no, that's not Galio. I think Pigeon Man makes more sense, doesn't it?
Oh, Deft has to be really careful here.
Yeah, tagged up.
I gotta say though, Ruler is not rolling so well on this Kleptomancy.
Yeah, hasn't been hitting too many sacks of gold. Deft somehow not going to get hit by that one.
Deft has to be really careful here.
Yeah, it does have Relentless Pursuit, but doesn't have the flash or any other options. Tycole's Blessing comes in for the extra movement speed. Bubble lands onto Peanut as well. A lot of damage with that Piercing Light to add more. As Cuz was there waiting for the counter gang. Kings do come in, and that's going to mean that Kingzone knows exactly where Peanut is and can keep putting the pressure on elsewhere on this map. You can see Rascal's being shoved in over and over again, but he's staying up in farm. He's being able to last hit really beautifully on this Vladimir into the Aatrox.
And Cuz is actually just so far ahead right now. He's already level 5, Peanut level 4. Cuz has the blue buff up and the wolf camp, but the raptor camp can just come up with Peanut. He's going to be able to hit level 5 off of that. Ends up using his smite actually on it.
Build Draw to Cutlass going to be used immediately there as Ruler wanting to find himself a back as well. Kingzone get Deft back into lane, but we'll see whether it's going to be Sheen and the tier completed for Ruler, which will be a very comfortable start here for the Ezreal, and he does manage to pick it up and teleport back in.
Yep. So everything going pretty A-okay for him.
But as level 6s do get hit here, Life is only level 4. Tucson is getting close to the tidal wave. That is going to mean that the all-in from Kingzone is going to be just so much damage. I don't know whether a lot of you have a lot of experience with Nami recently, but if she's able to lock you down with a tidal wave, you best believe that the bubble's coming afterwards. And Deft can then throw the culling right over the top. They wanted to do that. They wanted to put the Unbreakable on cooldown. They do so, and Jarvan once again has to pay attention to this bottom side. Gen G do know where the lifeblood of Kingzone is. It's this bottom lane, and it's the fact that Deft and Tucson do play aggressively no matter what. Right now, big minion wave. Ruler not quite able to land too many of these buttons here as Life throws one back. That's going to be the stun landing as Peanut does manage to get it in there. Heal comes down, the culling lands onto Ruler, but it's not enough. First blood goes to Gen G, bottom side of the map. Peanut's time finally pays off.
And that was a really big kill for them as well. Deft doesn't have teleport, didn't have the flash yet available. They even got the heal out of Tucson, and it relieves all of the pressure down in this bottom lane. The Ezreal now even in CS, got the kill for himself. And Lucian wasn't able to stabilize and stick around long enough to get that Blade of the Ruin King. And so, gonna have a little bit of a stagnated laning phase now. Transition, you can see right here, Deft wanting to try to zone and deny, but trading so aggressively, actually ended up giving up a CS for it. Ended up getting locked up, and it was all too easy at that point for Peanut to put an end to that.
And that is just fantastic news for the classic nices come in. I need heal, I need heal. Okay. Well, Kingzone, we'll see whether they can recover from this one. Def makes his way back to lane and does get himself back ahead as far as that farm is concerned, but there's a pickaxe now for Ruler. And the Ezreal feels like he's out of the woods by just a little bit. Cuz has been farming while this is all happening, but probably wants to be able to help. His key lane to victory here on the bottom side. Good ward. Shows where Tucson is. If this lane falls behind, though, on the side of Kingzone, it does actually become very difficult because Nami becomes basically a free kill if Peanut can just jump on top of her with the Cataclysm over and over again. Def does have his flash back up again, as this is a 3 versus 3. Tidal Wave does come in, blocked immediately by that one, and that's going to be the steal away from Peanut. Good double bubble comes in from Tucson, though. Cloud Drake does go over to Gen G, but have Kingzone actually found this one here? Tycaller's Blessing doing a lot of extra damage. Def finds himself on the wrong side of this one, though. The culling comes out, and he's dead once again. Gen G smashing the bottom side, exactly right. Kingzone just have to run away.
With a lot of advantages here down in the bottom side, and Ruler getting all these kills. This is the best place for the gold to be allocated.
Yeah.
And an Infernal Dragon coming up next in 4 minutes. We'll just take another quick look at this. Kingzone really wanted to get this Cloud Drake for reasons unbeknownst to me, but Peanut able to actually steal it away from Cuz there. Cuz not able to get the knockup onto Peanut as well. Life was able to just get away, and Deft going overly aggressive. I think he should have actually backed up towards where Peanut landed his EQ and flashed over the wall that way. Instead,
yeah, I agree
ended up taking quite a lot of damage by kiting south.
Well, we'll see whether Kingzone can recover from this one. So far, the gold is about 1,000 in favor of Gen G, but you can see the compositions. There's an Azir, there's a Vladimir. Things as the game move on will point towards Kingzone a little bit more. We'll see how Gen G's comp does pull itself together as we move towards late game. Of course, the Orianna, pretty good when it comes to late game fighting, especially when you're fighting around something like an Aatrox and a Jarvan composition, because you can get those shockwaves in the positions that you want to. Vladimir still needs to be contended with, and right now he's getting towards the immovable stage. He's level 9, he's got that 20% CDR in his back pocket, Cosmic Insight and Transcendence plus his runes. He's going to put him at about 42% right now.
Def's still doing a really good job in the CS department. It's only a 1k gold lead here for Gen G.
Yeah, nothing to write home about just yet. No, we're not signing the death warrant of Kingzone just yet. However, when their bottom lane gets put behind, it really does affect how Kingzone plays out this game moving further forward, because what they're used to is having the rest of the map go wrong and then having their bottom lane pull them out of the sticky situation. That's not going to be the case this time. It's going to have to be the rest of the map getting themselves together. One coming on over here as Cuz is looking to take down Shelly. Peanut's going to come over with Fly, though, and there is going to be Rascal coming in on the inside track. Kingzone thinking about moving this one out of the way.
Life's
Shelly gets her eye poked. And yeah, Life's going to take that first roam. Tucson trying to get on over as well, as Shelly hasn't quite reset just yet.
Is looking like it's another leash.
Yep, that's going to pull on over. Her patience has been wearing thin.
Oh, man. She's really sad right now.
Well, Tucson does get the Scryer's Bloom, spots out where Peanut is. Kingzone are going to start her up once again.
And Deft is here now as well. And so now if Gen G knows what's good for them, they would just give up Shelly. There's only a minute remaining.
Well, there's a teleport. There's a teleport available from Ruler. He is going to use it. We'll see whether Cuz is going to go for this smite.
We got a party.
It's very, very low as Rascal immediately goes into the Sanguine Pool, but the fight is not over yet. That's another Unbreakable. That's fantastic. We'll need multiple flashes to get over this wall, but no, we won't. That's just a burrow and a Shifting Sands, and Kingzone do make their way out with one flash down on the side of Tusu.
Yeah, and it's not even like they ended up losing out on summoners. Ezreal had to commit his teleport in order to come here. So teleport for a flash ends up being the result as Rift Herald does go over to Kingzone.
Wave bottom lane also doesn't crash into the turret, which is very important. Means that Def gets to pick up a bunch of these minions as they turn up, and even has the added luxury of picking up Scuttle Rivers here on the bottom side.
As he moves into the right-hand side of the map, he does have teleport available, which means if he comes down here, pushes out a wave, recalls, and gets the teleport off, he's going to have his Blade of the Ruin King and maybe tier 2 boots for the Infernal Drake.
No wonder that was a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah, that was the one. That one was a little bit difficult.
Yeah, impressed in the end, though, don't worry.
Yeah, thank you.
Rascal moves out of the way, but doesn't quite get far enough. Tides of Blood comes in. Cuvée. Last moment, but the Sanguine pull is going to be there. That was great timing there from Rascal. We've seen a few early pulls from a lot of our Vladimirs recently. That was a good one from Rascal. Cuvée does have a lead now, though. 9 CS is going to be that margin. There's Rascal waiting for this minion wave to move in. Not going to be able to answer it just yet. As that one comes forward. Having the Executioner's calling is great news here for Cuvée, so that might help him in some of these trades as they move up. But at a 0-0-0 scoreline, does feel like the Vladimir is going to be having a really good time as Infernal Chains doesn't arm, and Cuvée is going to have to run away. We'll see whether we can get the World Ender here out of Cuvée from Cuz. Gets the knock-up. That's the Tides of Blood, and he does go down into the stasis. Does still have Flash available. Hemoplague held onto for so long, and that's an easy kill topside. Bit of a whoopsie there from Gen G. True Shot Barrage comes in. It's going the wrong direction, though. Infernal Drake goes to Gen G, but Shelly sets herself up topside, and they're looking to try and grab the first turret blood for the Vladimir lane.
And the teleport's even actually coming in from depth, and what this is saying is we're not just going for one turret up here, we're going for two. Azir should be able to bounce into bottom after shoving in mid lane and picking up the wave if Ezreal and friends would try to lay an assault to the bottom tier 2 turret.
You can see Def continuing to try and grab more money here as well. He took away the Grump on the top side. He's also going to be able to get solo gold for this turret if it does eventually go down. Shelly gets her eye poked out. It's not quite dead just yet, but that is not going to regen, and that is just money sitting there waiting to be picked up if Kingzone can get this one shoved further forward.
The unfortunate thing about turrets like this one is when you're the red team, it is so difficult when you don't have a champion that has easy access to the top lane and to be that committed. It's really unfortunate they weren't able to get it there. We take a quick look at the replay. And even though Cuvée knows this is coming, he elects to use World Ender rather than flashing and trying to use World Ender to get away. And then at the very end, just ends up getting picked up. Doesn't end up using any of his summoners though, so he still does have them. And to do this, Kingzone had to give up the Infernal Drake, so Kingzone actually lose out in the end.
Yeah. If that top inner turret had have fallen, then I guess there would have been an argument for Kingzone winning out, but the fact that Gen G were also able to even out the turret trade.
I think that had they gotten the top tier 2 turret and had it gone to Lucian, I think it would have been temporarily even, but obviously that Infernal is just going to do so much work later on in the game.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. World Ender available, though.
Yeah, it is going to be back up yet again. World Ender going to be utilized there as, okay, Void Rush comes out. Cuz is tanking the turret, though. That is not what you want to be doing. They do get the World Ender down, but Cuz is going to have to get out of here. They get rid of the turret aggro. And now they're wanting to finish him off. True Shot Barrage going to be avoided. But now, Cuvée, this is a see your death moment. The Hemoplague comes in. Tides of Blood is going to be there. And Kingzone just waited out, pick up the kill. It's going to be a turret trade in the end. Gen G are able to get something back cross-map. However, Kingzone are trading up by grabbing the extra kill in that moment.
And they're here in mid lane. Fly!
All right, yep, Culling does come out. That's going to be the knock-up with the Tidal Wave. Flash has to come out as the bubble also lands.
Kingzone are everywhere. They're eating the Raptor camp. They're getting the spells out of Fly. How to train your Aatrox down in bottom lane. A bunch of things is going on, and it's very explosive. They've managed to make the gold even here.
And also, they have a 2-0 Vladimir.
Yeah.
So Cuz has done his job, right? This is a composition that's now playing around a Vladimir that's 30 CS in the lead.
Yeah.
This is absolutely huge. And normally, you look at a Kingzone comp and you're like, oh, deft is 0-2. Let's call it a day.
Yeah, let's go game 2.
Yeah, exactly right. But
here it is.
This is an opportunity for Rascal to try and carry as we check out this juggling of turret aggro. The stopwatch investment from Cuz, so they do use some resources.
The Kingzone circus here. This is some juggling acts. As Cuvee probably just felt really bad about this.
Yeah.
And it was nothing that he could do to get out, and that was just very well done by Cuz and Rascal.
Really well played from the Kingzone top side of the map. 550 gold is going to be the bounty here for Rascal. As Peanut wants to be able to steal away this blue buff, should be able to. As they want to try and kill him, but he's not going to die. And Peanut just steals that one away. Smite, pretty good ability, apparently. Black Cleaver next on the menu here for the Jarvan. Not going to go for the more defensive Jarvan flavor that we've seen from a few of our other LCK junglers. It's going to be the extra damage to come out from Peanut.
Maybe it can be nice down.
Oh, yeah. Could be. But I think if he's gone Warrior Enchant, he's going for the Black Cleaver.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I'm
That's the feels bad.
I don't know whether they necessarily need too much more damage, as the Aatrox is going to be building damage alongside the Ezreal and the Orion.
There's no armor being built by Kingzone, and it's highly unlikely that they ever will build armor, so I think that the Aatrox Black Cleaver probably just would have been enough.
Yeah.
So I actually think this would have been a game definitely for a tank Jarvan.
But Tucson almost explodes. True Shot Barrage going to go wide.
Ooh.
Dodges the Q, so Tucson is going to be okay for now, but this mid lane outer turret is completely undefended, and Gen G just needs a minion wave to really put some pressure on it. Vladimir going to move over towards it. Pawn, level 13, has a level advantage. He's going to get there relatively soon. And Gen G not going to put too much pressure on. Rascal with the extra movement speeds there as double Cloud Drake coming in for Gen G. And all three of the dragons so far this game will belong to them.
Double Cloud Drake will feel quite nice. As now the Aatrox is going to be able to move around the map a little bit quicker. Jarvan going to have a little bit more utility now for his engages. It's almost like he's running around with mobility boots now.
Yeah, pretty quick. Also having that that cloudy effect as well does help, even if it is a little bit of a placebo effect.
Do you like the aesthetic?
I think it's alright.
I think it's alright too.
I'm a fan of Diana, so it just reminds me of Diana. It looks like little crescents coming out.
You like Diana?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Okay.
I liked her when she first came out.
Oh, when she was busted.
Yeah.
I love champions when they first come out and they're busted.
I remember I played her 3 games in a row in ranked. I played her mid lane, top lane, and jungle, and won all 3, and it was very, very easy. And that wasn't because I was a good player. As Cuvee and Rascal, they're fighting. World Ender does come in. Hemoplay going to give some health back to Rascal as he goes into his Sanguine pool, but that's a trade of ultimates there between the Vladimir and the Aatrox. Good on both sides, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. And not too much action actually unfolding. I think everyone's just sort of waiting for the Vladimir to get a little bit bigger. Wait for the Black Cleaver on the Rex side. You can see the items on Azir are also waiting to be completed. Black Cleaver, it was completed for Deft. He is also still sitting on tier 1 boots, which is a little bit surprising.
Yep, just the brown bags. As Cuz takes away the Rift Scuttler, he's actually shooting ahead when it comes to the farm numbers. He almost has his Black Cleaver as well. His double Black Cleaver is going to come into Kingzone as well. Fly. All right, see whether Pawn can actually pick this one up. Pawn is looking for it. Doesn't actually get in the way for the ultimate, but it doesn't matter. Void Rush is going to be there, and Kingzone grab the kill on the mid laner, and they get the teleport out afterwards, meaning that they are going to be completely saved. Deft pushes up the mid lane, and that's just a free kill to Kingzone.
Now at this point...
Okay. I thought that was Rascal actually taking on the Baron here at 22 minutes in.
Yeah, that would have been very scary. They do not have any Mountain Drakes. Not going to get any amplification to that. You don't have an extremely slight gold advantage right now.
Yes. It's almost negligible, though, because the extra gold that you're going to get in stats from the Infernal Drake is going to be putting Gen G right back in it.
Oh, they're definitely ahead in terms of items because of that Infernal.
Yep. Mid lane, though, you can see Pawn. He's at about 30 CS advantage. 600 gold bounty. I believe Fly had a CS bounty on him as well when this kill goes down, so that is great news here for Kingzone. Shifting sands there from Pawn. Probably would have wanted to follow that one up completely. As the tidal wave goes wide, But it's just all too easy here. Kingzone, grab that kill.
Rascal and Cuvee continuing to fight down there.
Yeah, you can see Spellbinder isn't going to be invested into this particular battle. Gold difference, you can see, being very, very close. Throughout this game, nothing bigger than a 1,600 gold lead in favor of Gen G.
It's like a Pepsi can.
Oh yeah, I see that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, Cuvee.
Yep, that's the knock-up. Cuvee, I think I've seen this one before. World Ender is going to be procced very, very quickly. He wants to try and get the flash, but he's not going to get anything. Tides of Blood's going to finish that one up very easily, and Def now does have the culling to get rid of the minion wave. And once again, Gen G lose their top laner and gain 0.
Gain 0, but I mean, you look at the gold and it's just not moving.
No.
At the very top. It's a constant bouncing back and forth in mid and top lane.
But who does it benefit if the gold is going to stay stagnant? I'm looking at a Vladimir Azir composition, feeling like we're pretty good for that one. Is Pawn. Okay.
Pawn made it out.
Was that a Banshee's Veil that was eaten by a Shockwave? Yes, it was.
Well, Rascal finally going to get a turret down here. In bottom lane, Kingzone finally with a gold lead. That is getting somewhat sizable. Finally just 1,000. But, as you were mentioning, yeah, the scaling. Vladimir and Azir. And the only hope, the longer that this game goes, will be the Ezreal.
Yeah.
Or Gen G. He almost has maybe his Seraph's embrace completed.
He's going to be relatively close to it. Does have a heck of a lot of mana stacking up. He's got a huge CS advantage as well. But I think that's largely because a lot of Kingzone's CS has been funneled into the Vladimir when Rule has been picking up basically all of the side lane farm. And Pawn also going to be staying ahead of Fly for the moment. So the allocation of farm is certainly in favor of Ruler at the moment. Rascal gets a big trade onto Peanut, one that isn't answered at all. From the Gen G jungler, Mountain going to be coming up in 7 seconds time as Kingzone are getting themselves into position for it. They don't want to give a 4th Drake away for free to Gen G, especially now when they're feeling like they can win themselves a team fight. Cuz gets himself into the pit, and we'll see whether Peanut can once again get his finger on the smite key. Nope, Cuz doesn't even need to either, as Pawn's the one that secures it. Rascal getting in over, and he's feeling frisky now on the Vladimir. He's got so many items, he's feeling so comfortable. Gen G with inside track though, as the inner turret is going to take a whole bunch of health and is going to be taken down. As Kingzone were caught napping just a little bit, getting their rotation back towards the mid lane.
Yeah, so the sad reality about the Mountain Drake here is that it's the first one of the game, and it comes in at 25, almost 26 minutes. There's one tier 2 turret in top lane, which is on its last breath.
Yep.
There's the tier 1 and tier 2 mid lane turrets, but after that, the Mountain's not really doing that much. And at 26, almost 27 minutes, multiple items completed on Kingzone, it's not adding some sort of special Baron speed that you're somehow able to cheese the opponent with. And so it's not actually doing anything.
No, not really. And also, Kingzone's Baron speed had no issues anyway.
Right. So this is almost a non-factor dragon. And in the end, Gen G actually end up raising a turret for it. And so, in a weird way, feels like actually Gen G made out.
Yeah, with a bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
Counter turret in the mid lane is still standing here for Gen G, and that just shows that you put your Ezreal in the mid lane, and especially when it's being piloted by Ruler, you're going to have a pretty good time controlling that lane. Got full stacks though on the Spellbinder here for Rascal. He's desperate to try and find himself more of a fight. Lucian comes over, doesn't find the bubble there onto Peanut or Fly.
One of the really big stories here is look at the level difference between Cuz and Peanut. It's 2.
Yeah, that is crazy. Especially with Peanut being able to get down and securing first blood. He's been playing well this game, but the Rek'Sai's just been tearing up the jungle, as she is wont to do. 20 CS in the lead, that's 5 camps.
For the most part is even, except for the bottom lane. There is a 1 level advantage respectively for Life and Ruler.
Yep. And that's been the story of this game, right? It's been Ruler and Life actually coming out ahead, but what has been the positive side of Kingzone in recent matches? It's been top side of the map taking care of itself. Can they actually use these scaling threats in the Vladimir and the Azir to win out in a team fight? Because this is going to have to be an example of Kingzone fighting around a Vladimir in the hands of Rascal instead of a hyper carry in the hands of Death.
Rascal trying to heal back up. Oh, that turret is 1 auto attack away. Huh?
Basically. Cuz going to be able to find Fly here. Doesn't get the knock up though, as that's a shockwave. Brings him back in. Cuz was just buying time. Looking to try and get in there, but Peanut, he's not going to find it forward. And the burrow is going to help Cuz get himself away. Tunnels his way up. Peanut's still looking for more. He gets himself the heal. Sun turret goes up. Now Life and Ruler are looking for it. Pawn has the Emperor's Divide, and Genji are going to respect it for now.
Cuz is getting healed back up by that Nami. Deft had teleport, so he was there in spirit.
Yep, the weird Sun turret bug coming in yet again with its very, very long laser sight. It's been a while since I've seen that one. As Peanut's going to stop some backs, gets it onto Pawn there.
This is a really exciting game here.
Well, Genji.
All right, looks like Genji have had enough.
Yeah, they don't have vision of that ward that's just outside the pit. Teleport to come in from Rascal. This is a pretty good flank position, but immediately he's going to run the other direction. He stopped the Baron. But can he stop Genji from chasing after him and killing him? The answer is yes. He moves pretty damn fast.
There's that Spellbinder granting that movement speed. And so now we are back into the lull state.
You didn't actually have to use the Spellbinder. It's just the extra movement speed that you get from the item.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So everyone continuing to wait on items here. And we're waiting.
Yep. Tucson.
We're waiting.
Tucson gets a ward over into that Baron pit once again. No control vision. There for Genji. It's Cuvée and Rascal just continuing to trade farm. No teleport for Rascal is a great news story. For Genji, this Ruler just continuing to farm things up. Rapid fire cannon done for Deft, but he wants his Infinity Edge before he's going to do comparable damage to the double tier Ezreal. Teleport. That's going to be the Ezreal. The weirdest teleports come in from AD carries every single time. As soon as you see a really strange teleport, it's always one of those guys.
It doesn't make any sense because Home Guard is available at this stage of the game. You're going to get to the red buff within 15 seconds. It's not worth expending your teleport for when it could potentially be extremely valuable at 33, 34 minutes.
It's about the min-max.
These are the games that are the most frustrating.
Okay, Kingzone just started off the Baron. As Peanut flags and drags, gets his way forward. Look at this, Tidal Wave comes forward and Peanut's going to go very low. The Baron just gets eradicated. Only one mountain necessary. Sanguine Pool going to be used from Rascal, and he might just sacrifice himself, but does have the flash. Gets himself out with the Spellbinder, and Kingzone just steal themselves a Baron.
Yeah, Kingzone managed to pick up the Baron right there as the ping goes down onto the Cloud Drake. And
let's
now,
even out the trade.
Yeah, so Genji, they do have some wave clear with the Orianna, but Kingzone with the Vladimir and the Rek'Sai in the long range from the Azir should be able to siege turrets now.
Oh yeah. Especially with all the extra damage they can have. They can go through for a 1-3-1 and have severe damage threat onto these turrets.
A really big fan of Mermaid.
Oh, that was a 50-50 as well. So Kuz just having a better smite finger this time around.
Definitely a close call. And Kingzone, they go into a full-on retreat.
Yep. You can see some folded arms, though, from some of these coaches. We don't like 50-50 Barons here in the coaching booth. Acorn, though, he was very excited. He likes it. He just likes good League of Legends, does old Acorn.
Well, here, I really hope this doesn't turn back into a lull state.
Well, it shouldn't. We got 2 minutes of Baron.
Atlas, my brain is breaking.
Cuz, what is your plan? Well, the Vladimir is on the top side of the map, and he might just take an inhibitor. As you can see, Genji just running around in circles. At this point in time, it's not exactly great use of your champion's abilities if you're just caught in transition over and over again. The rest of the pressure, not going to be quite there, but you can see this. This is an example of Rascal being pretty strong at this point in time. Infernal Trains. Not going to do a whole lot of damage there to Cuvée. Teemo Plate goes down. Sanguine Pool going to have to be used as Kingzone not going to be able to get here in time. And that is going to be just a free kill onto the Vladimir, and I'd probably say not worth.
Yeah, definitely not worth. Does come at the expense of Cataclysm and World Ender, but that's a more than fine trade. And Kingzone, right now, a minute remaining on the Baron. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, I'm just not entirely sure whether it's exact. Peanut might also have a bit of a trade here as he gets himself a little bit of a shield, but there's no flash, and he's dead. Void Rush. You're not going to be able to move 1,500 units away, my friend, the Jarvan in the 4th. So that's just a death, and we've traded 1 for 1. So Gen G answer back with their own silly play.
45 seconds remaining, which means that we got about 1 wave in mid, and that wave up in top as Cuvee is trying his best to hang on to it, but I do think that Gen G did manage to hold on. I think this game is looking like it's going to come down to an Elder.
Yeah, or maybe the next Baron. As Deft throws out the culling, he might be able to get a few double taps here, and that's the base broken. Ruler's going to come in, but Relentless Pursuit is going to get Deft out of there, and you can see Kingzone, they have inside track through the jungle. So that is just a free turret take, and they're not going to take the inhibitor just yet.
Top inhibitor, not the most valuable at this stage of the game, and I say that only because Baron, you're always in such close proximity, although one could argue that the Elder Dragon coming up in 2.5 minutes, I guess, the top inhibitor would then act as the bottom inhibitor, which is generally considered by far and away the most valuable inhibitor in the game. As we take a quick look at how this all transpires, Rascal going in here for a trade that he can't win, turns back around one more time, doesn't have the knowledge that Peanut is coming around to stop him. Cataclysm ends up being expended there right at the very end. And then right here, Peanut deciding that it is imperative to be in the middle of the Tier 1 and Tier 2 turrets in his top lane, despite nothing being on the map.
Yeah. That doesn't feel like a great thing. And all of a sudden, you've got a gold bounty on Deft, Pawn, and Cuz.
Yeah.
2-0 and 3 here for the Rek'Sai, just quietly, as she's finding herself scaling towards this late game, actually relatively effective. Infinity Edge is done for Deft. He does a hell of a lot of damage now. Deserves that 750 gold bounty. As Pawn's had a very slow and steady game. But if as an Azir is having a slow and steady game, you're a big fan.
Yeah.
Because those auto attacks from these Sand Soldiers in the late game is going to be tearing up the members of Kingzone. Cuz, you can see, Tremor Sense spots exactly where Cuvee is going to be roaming. Double dash gets him out of the way. And Cuz is just going to move back in here. Peanut turns up, and that's the tunnel to get Cuz out of danger.
50 seconds until the Elder will spawn, and I just feel like we're going to get one really chaotic fight, and the game is just going to end.
Yeah.
We've seen this happen quite a few times in the LCK. We've seen it in other regions as well. And honestly, this game is giving me some LCS vibes, where the teams just don't do anything for 40 minutes, one fight, game ends.
Oh, Pawn. No one going to get aggressive onto him. He's still got his Banshee's Veil. He's very comfortable. 30 seconds on the Baron, 20 seconds on the Elder. All of the vision available here for Kingzone, and there's a teleport up for Rascal as well, as he's milling about the bottom side of the map. Speaking of milling about bottom side, Cuz is doing the same thing. So you might want to move your smite back towards this Baron, as it is up in 20 seconds. Sun Turret gets set up. Kingzone just looking to control this map as best they can. And open the door for this one. Sun Turret goes down, but Kingzone, they don't care about that one. They just want to be able to take down this Elder.
I think they're just going to burst it.
A 50-50 is a really scary proposition here, though, because there's 3 Drakes on Gen G, one of them being an Infernal. Peanut will be able to get in here. It isn't going to be the 50-50, Cuz he's going to lock that one up, and now all of that on-hit damage, all of that Vladimir damage as well, as you can see in the backline. The Hemoplague's already down, and Gen G have already been softened up. Cuvee going to get flashed on, and Deft just pops the Aatrox. No more top laner. This should be Kingzone just moving this Elder Drake into the Baron pit and taking over the game.
And what's really surprising right now is that Deft and Cuz could have just ran to that bottom minion wave, and then because Deft has this teleport available, you drag the members of Gen G down to the bottom lane. Deft teleports to the Baron. You have a mountain with the Elder buffing it. You don't need your jungler present there immediately. Capture the Baron as well. Instead, we're getting this.
Shifting Sands right as the Cataclysm comes in. Pawn escapes out of that one yet again with his life, is now Kingzone looking to take down this Baron buff, feeling like it's a little bit rushed, but they've got a hell of a lot of damage. You can see Tucson waiting on the backline as well. He's got all of the sustain available, and they all go into their empowered recalls in Kingzone. They've taken 2 Barons now and an Elder. These big epic monsters seem to belong to them.
That's going to be a monstrous recall for some of them. We'll take a look at how this all happens again. And so they know what the HP of the Elder was, but Peanut was very slow to go into the pit. So Cuz ends up getting it there. He also had a 3-level smite advantage, so I mean, I guess that's pretty good.
level 17.
Yeah, level 17 to 14 on Peanut. And Deft flashing here to actually get onto Cuvee. And didn't immediately run down into the bottom lane despite having the teleport. I do feel like that was a little bit of lost opportunity with the Elder and the teleport available, considering also the fact that you have the Mountain Drake.
Yeah, potential nitpicking though, because they are going to be able to break open this inner turret in the mid lane. Kingzone will have a hell of a lot of an advantage. 6,000 gold now the lead, and they're the ones with the Vladimir, they're the ones with the Azir. Tower falls down and that lead's only extending. Rascal, he's going to set up shop on the bottom side. Remember, inhibitor turret is already dead. Top side of the map, so Kingzone just need to find themselves some priority inside the base of Gen.G, and everything will just fall apart like dominoes. Fly trying to take down Vision. I feel like we haven't really spoken about this Orianna at all, apart from her dying here in this game. One shockwave hitting a Banshee's Veil. That's about all I can really remember, apart from maybe Cuz being booped back a little bit top side of the map. Needs to try and find something now as Tusin's going to get pulled back. They should be able to get rid of the Nami here as Peanut goes into his stopwatch, but Deft gets himself a world ender. Rascal finds himself into the backline, and look at these health bars. They are basically non-existent. Cuz is an assassin in the backline. It's a double kill coming in for the Vladimir as Cuz finishes off Ruler. Fly's going to die as well. No, he's not. He's going to be able to take down the Rek'Sai, but Kingzone, they know that they've done enough. They'll take down this inhibitor turret. The inhibitor will follow, and the game will be over.
Yeah, the Baron buff minions are going to be too much for Fly to actually be able to handle. Rascal is going to always just be able to keep healing back up. It's like Kingzone, they're trying to get some KDA. They got to be careful.
Yeah,
or at least Pond does.
Yeah, Deft is all about killing these structures. As he wants to find some auto attacks now, gets the 50 gold, and in fact that gets donated over to Pond. Kingzone DragonX playing around their top side of the map and winning a game is not something that we would have been talking about in the first round robin. This new flavor of Kingzone is a beautiful one to watch. Cuz puts all of his attention on the Vladimir top side. And look, Deft insta a little bit at the beginning of the game. It doesn't matter because they allow themselves to scale where they need to. They put Cuvee in a gigantic hole, and Gen.G can't get out.
Yeah, and even though Deft was falling behind, he was managing to keep up in the CS department. It was an extremely slow mid and late game transition. And it came down to the Baron burst that Kingzone were able to get away with, followed up by the Elder win, followed up by the next Baron, and then the game ends up collapsing on top of itself. But what happens if Deft gets ahead?
Then the game is over much faster.
The game will end much quicker. Yeah.
And this was still Kingzone playing damage control after Peanut did get a very good gank in the early
much slower composition when Lucian falls behind.
Yeah, precisely.
It takes a lot longer to come online. Gen.G were not able to do anything with their advantages. And honestly, I really could hand it to Kingzone in the early to mid transition. They had a lot of blitz macro plays.
Yeah. They managed to play around Cuz brilliantly again.
Yeah.
And this is on a Rek'Sai pick that's been really up and down. When we first saw her buffs, we were like, oh, Rek'Sai's going to be pick or ban. She's going to be ridiculous. However, we have seen her falter. We have seen her be successful, but it's mostly in the early game.
Right.
And Cuz was playing out this Rek'Sai pick in the late game more effectively than we've seen it in the past by a long way. You can see over double the damage that was put out by Peanut on his Jarvan. But it was all about the Vladimir damage by the looks of things. Rascal had his lane camped and then was able to transition that into a win. And that is just great news for Kingzone DragonX, because there were times in the past where you gave Rascal money and he'd just trip over and you'd lose the game.
And I actually do think that Cuz gets the MVP here, not Rascal.
I think so too.
On the Vladimir. Yes, he did lose the initial smite fight, but his level advantages were very noticeable. Got the Vladimir rolling.
Yeah. And actually, he was playing the Rek'Sai much like the old Shyvana playstyle used to be, which is like, just belt them with your gigantic amount of experience advantage because you mow through the jungle so fast. So that's how Cuz was able to transition into the late game, because the late game wasn't everyone's level 18. Right. The late game was he made it to level 18 when his opponent was level 14.
You're right.
And so the smite, it wasn't a 50-50 in the end. It was actually just Cuz having a much bigger number.
Yeah.
It's just really, really cool stuff. Happening. A lot of really interesting things to break down in that game, but we still have potentially 2 more to go. Kingzone versus Gen.G, game number 2, right after the break.